Saturday at 8 a.m. to go live every Saturday. Hopefully Mondays too. Sorry, my hair's a little scraggly. Just got up and moving. Grab your coffee because today I want to talk about some juicy stuff. I hope people get in here. You're going to hear birds chirping. Sorry, I'm outside. But we're going to talk about the man versus bear debate. We're going to talk about natural skincare and natural beauty and how to keep your metabolism going, how to keep your natural beauty, things like that. So, to start with, I did I did a video earlier this week, Wednesday, I believe it was, on ylang ylang essential oils. And ylang ylang being a sought after beauty oil, it's also in a lot of my skincare products that I make naturally by hand with organic herbs and essential oils. So the benefits if I could get some comments, folks, come on, get in the chat. What do y'all want to talk about first? Y'all want to talk about the man versus bear debate, or you want to talk about natural beauty? I think I can roll natural beauty on into the man versus bear debate. But I'm going to put up some scripture too. I want to bring some scripture into this. It's something that hits close to home for me. And I really, really have a lot that I could talk about on my social media platform that I withhold due to praying that it works out in the courts and praying that it works out with the correct people that have been paid to ensure my son and mine's best interest. But it has been taking a very long time and gotten absolutely nowhere. So I'm about this close to like dropping all kinds of juicy stuff because I'm just at my end and I can feel these women. I can feel their pain. I can understand where rage comes from. I know that typically the side that is taking up for women is liberal, and a lot of people that watch my channel are not liberal. They are conservative. However, there comes a time when you have to take a look at all that goes on and say, my people aren't supporting me, and things that are transpiring either behind the scenes or through the systems that are put in place to protect women are not working anymore. So I really, 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 really am doing everything I can to keep my mouth shut right now. But yeah, we got 7. All right, 7 people in here. So we can talk about the man versus bear debate first, or we can talk about natural beauty. I have no comments whatsoever. People, open up. Maybe you don't want me to know who you are. That's possible. Good morning, good morning. It is beautiful outside. The sun is shining. Lots of birds chirping. Okay, well, we'll just start with natural beauty since nobody's at least like the live stream. Okay, at least do me that honor. Let's talk about natural skincare. So quite a few people have been asking about it. Summertime is here. I'll start off with what I do and what I have done. Now, I'm 46 years old. I do have some wrinkles around my eyes. And I have tried taping as well. If you are someone who has considered or seen any of the information or people, I'll go no quit. Okay. Oh, I think I'm catching alive. Yes, yes, yes. So I'm putting myself through a physical training process, and my goal is to hit it between 5 and 7 every morning. So if I do a live stream, I can do a live stream at 8 on Mondays and Saturdays. And that's why I had to switch up times. It just wasn't working out. I couldn't do the live walk because the Wi-Fi where I was at would not hold the stream. So, sorry, just woke up, got moving, had to clear my throat. And I really, really, really want to get y'all's input on the man versus bear debate. I know y'all have seen it, and it's gaining a lot of ground. And yeah, I want to expound on it. But we'll start with natural beauty. So skincare, ylang ylang essential oil. So everything in God's creation has a frequency in which it radiates. It has potential energy. It has the energy to do something, to activate a certain response, whether it's in your and that's even medicine. So when you take an ibuprofen, it has the capacity to lower fever. It has the capacity to help with pain. Example. So everything in creation has the same ability. There's a ton of natural beauty. We all know that. I don't want to say products, but things out there. Yeah, let's just say products. That's a good word. Whether it's rose oil, whether it's essential oils of variations, even, different types of flowers have different effects. Essential oils are concentrated. They're 100 times using a simple product. Homeopathic remedies are also concentrated. I think they're more like anywhere between 10 and 60 times. So when I say homeopathic, I mean the homeopathic pills that you get, often created in Europe. There's actually a section of the FDA that covers homeopathic remedies and medicine in America, but it's just kind of faded out because it's not as popular as the department still exists and the governing rules still exist. We do have homeopathic remedies produced in the States, just not a lot of them. Anyway, so you get homeopathic pills are a lot like the Highlands cell salts. They have homeopathic remedies made with a ton of different flowers, herbs, tree bark, roots of all different kinds. If you're not familiar with homeopathic remedies, they are a very good way to get more of nature into your system. Used for all types of things, from illness to beautification. I don't have those. I don't sell those. Just to give you a background, they are indeed governed by the FDA, and they are a very good way. Look into homeopathic remedies if you are looking for alternatives to typical medications. All right. Beautification herbs. That's where I'm going to start. So beautification herbs, one major herb that you should consider looking into. I sell it in my Super Salve, and I'm going to cover some of the different ingredients in Super Salve. It's comfrey. A lot of people, as we age, our skin doesn't regenerate at the rate in which it would when we were younger. So once you hit the age of about 30, 35, mainly 40 is the mark. But people are beginning to age faster due to things that they may have done, like drugs or alcohol, or maybe their metabolism is slowed down because of thyroid issues. But when your metabolism starts to slow, your skin cells do not rejuvenate as quickly as they should. They're supposed to be on a 28-day process. They start to slow down. You tend to hold on to dead skin cells. You tend to age faster. Your skin cells do not reproduce as rapidly. So comfrey is one that helps to regrow and rejuvenate the skin cells. It's often used in trauma. That's why I put it in Super Salve for wounds. It helps to not only help regrow skin cells, but tissue as well, such as ligaments, joint cartilage, and muscle tissue. So if you are someone who is looking into a skincare regimen to help rejuvenate your skin cells, you want to be exfoliating to get off the old dead skin, and you want to be using something with comfrey in it. My Happy Face has comfrey in it. Oh, damn it. Okay. Many skincare products that you buy over the counter do not have enough power to actually be effective to help your skin reproduce skin cells. My Happy Face does have comfrey in it, as well as plantain, and I'm going to do a whole video on that. A lot of skincare lines will put in one or two things that are good. And Native is probably one of the better ones that are out there now. They're using all natural products, but they are watered down. They're watered down. And they're also, they're not giving you, like, if you really want to make an impact, you have to find out what works good for what. If you're looking at aging, comfrey, ylang ylang, lavender, sweet orange, and lemon. Those are some things that help lighten, brighten the skin cells to rejuvenate on their own. You know, those are some things. Peppermint, anything that stimulates, tea tree, um, those kind of things. So comfrey is one of the main ones that I believe should be put in skincare products. That's not it, because of the power it has to help tissue rejuvenate on its own. Metabolism issues such as not producing enough, rejuvenating skin cells, or the aging process coming on very quickly, you can start taking, I take, I eat jalapeno peppers, but you can take cayenne pepper in encapsulated form to help your metabolism speed back up. It will not only help with weight loss, but it'll help with skin and heart and blood pressure issues. So, uh, capsicum is one that they all put out there for pain, um, but it also helps to take the whole pepper in an encapsulated form to help with your skin rejuvenating. One of the main things you can do to help your skin rejuvenate and stay healthy and naturally beautiful is to get as much exercise as possible. Does it burn in your stomach to take the caps? No. I've got something in my throat this morning for some reason. Um, No, it does not burn. I oftentimes, if I'm telling someone to take something like encapsulated ginger, cinnamon, um, a pepper of some kind, I will tell people to always drink almond milk with it. Almond milk is very, very soothing. It helps with your gut lining, whether you have issues in your gut or not. It's a good source of protein, muscle builder, decent fat, not too high of a fat content, but the fat is easily absorbed and worked off. It's not a fat like a highly saturated fat like coconut milk or animal milk. So I am a almond milk only person because I have seen the people who drink coconut milk, their strict diets, how hard they have to work to get it off. I've seen the people with all the allergies and all the stomach problems from the animal milk, just your over the counter vitamin D or 2% milk. I've seen all the problems that come with that. The people that I have seen, if you want to call this like a personal test study, the people, including myself, that I've seen that stick to almond milk have no gut issues. Their metabolism is good. Their weight loss is very effective. Almond milk just seems to, it coats the stomach, especially the people that have like SIBO or candida or parasites who've had to get rid of all that. I mean, I've seen people take this high dollar, $40 a can of, I think it's Rainforest, I could be wrong, concentrated coconut milk that you mix with water and still have very bad gut problems, still have problems losing weight. It's because coconut is fully saturated. Animal milk is saturated. Coconut milk only has a tiny bit of saturated fat. The unsaturated fat helps you to burn more fat, okay? So it's a gut soother. I've looked into it. Unless you're allergic to any of the ingredients that they put in there, like the guar gum, which is even a natural, that's even a soother. A lot of people have said that they're allergic to it or it tears the stomach up. It doesn't. It's even a natural form of gum. Or Carrageenan wax. Those are still natural. They put them in there so that it's a little bit thicker. And I used to put guar gum in my lotion recipe. It's an all natural gum or wax. The cayenne and other peppers. Yes, right. So that's what I'm saying. Drink some almond milk. Whenever you put something harsh on your stomach, almond milk it almost acts like a collagen or a coating to help soothe. So if you're taking encapsulated ginger, cayenne pepper, the best way to get Hippocrates, okay? He was the father of modern medicine, considered the first doctor, wrote the Hippocratic Oath. Let food be thy medicine. So the best way to get your food would be to eat fresh. So I eat anywhere from 2 to 8 jalapeno peppers a day. it helps my metabolism. But if you can't eat it fresh and you take it encapsulated, it helps both with all the rejuvenation. It helps with blood pressure. It's huge, not just jalapeno, but cayenne, any of your peppers, because it's the capsicum from the pepper. Yeah, take it with almond milk, but that's going to help speed your metabolism up. It's going to help level out your blood pressure. It helps with heart issues. If you're someone who, like me, drinks stimulants like coffee, I steer away from the monster drinks, but I take B12 quite a bit. I drink a lot of coffee. The almond milk will help with all of that because coffee is very acidic. Yeah, so almond milk is probably, there's oat, let me warn you about this. There's oat milk, there's soy milk. Oh my God, if I could just do a video on how to stay away from soy, if I could just do a video on like the warnings of soy. Soy milk and soy products are the most harmful plant product in production today. So bad for you. They're high in carbs. Yes, they have some protein, but they're loaded with chemicals. By the time it gets to you in a product, a food, or a drink, it has basically no plant value whatsoever. Whether that's tofu, whether that's soy milk, whatever. But all of those other milks, oat milk, soy milk, I can't even think, rice milk, all of them. Stay away from them. Stick to a nut milk. When you're looking to transform your body, boost your metabolism, try to stay younger, you want to stick to nuts. You want to stick to real butter. You want to stick to the fats that your body can absorb and that are not fully saturated. So you want to stick to the ones that are going to help you lose weight. Fat actually helps you burn fat. Okay? And that's why the coconut craze went crazy, because they found these medium chain fatty acids that did help you to burn fat, but it didn't make up for the fact that coconut is fully saturated. So I saw a lot of people when I was working for the naturopath that were doing the coconut the coconut oil and coconut milk that could not lose weight, could not correct their thyroid problems and their hormone imbalances, and ended up with high cholesterol. Versus the people who stuck to the nuts and the almond milk and the olive oil, the cayenne. Okay, anybody else got any more questions? But also, let me add this. You've got to move. If you are 40 or above and you are not lifting weights at least 3 times a week, and you're not moving in some form or fashion, you know, we're either going forward or we're going backward. There's really no in between. So if you're not moving at least for 40 minutes a day, you're not able to sweat out your toxins. I put up a TikTok like 2 months ago. When you don't get rid of your toxins, they stay in your system. What happens is, this is how cancer is formed. Let's just say you can have a smoker that moves, that will live to be 100, versus someone who doesn't smoke, who drinks tap water, who may even eat healthy, but lives more of a modern way, doesn't move, sedentary lifestyle, eats McDonald's periodically, may eat salad some, but doesn't move. Sweating makes all of your systems go into full force. It boosts your metabolism. It produces dopamine, the happy hormone. It also gets your lymphatic system going. So let's just say you have toxins in your system that you don't move and you don't expel. Mucus begins to form around those toxins. First, you'll end up with cysts. You'll end up with tumors. Sometimes they calcify, become hard, and you can have them removed. Sometimes the mucus around them begins to, as it encapsulates it, the cells start to mutate, and that's what forms your cancer. I've listened to a lot of natural doctors. Cancer is nothing more than refusal to remove toxins from your system. And you can tell whether your system is actively removing its toxins very easily. Take a glass of your pee in a glass cup, hold it up to the light. When you hold it up to the light, you should see swirling white pieces in there. And some people say, oh, that's protein. No, that is cellular debris called albumin. An extreme amount tells you that your body's overloaded and trying to release all that dead cellular debris and toxins. A very small amount tells you that your system is clean and that you're not having to work too hard to rid your cellular debris and rid your toxins. A medium amount is okay too, but you can just very easily see where you are by holding a glass of pee up to a light and looking to see that that cellular debris is coming out. There are proteins in there too, but if you have, if you're not, yourself, if you're moving, if you're active, if you're sweating, if you're ridding yourself of toxins. But no, not much cellular debris at all is the best. If you have a lot of cellular debris there, your body's overloaded, and it's going to be pulling on your kidneys, pulling on your liver. Your liver is what detoxifies, so we know that's not good. So you don't want a lot of white floaty stuff in your pee, because that's a sign of you being overloaded with toxins and your body's working overtime to get rid of it. And you need to help that system and relieve it by getting out and sweating. That's the best way you can help yourself stay young, is to move, be active, and I mean put in a good sweat. And it's hard because, a lot of people say, well, I've got dinner to make, I've got kids to tend to, I've got work, or I've got whatever. Even if you're working outside in the garden and the sun's out and you're just getting a good sweat in, you don't have to be running to get that sweat in. You could be, building a house, doing whatever it is you're doing. As long as you're sweating, you're helping your body, you're helping your metabolism, you're not overloading your liver. Because the only other way, if you don't sweat to get that stuff out, is through your liver. And you can get non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. I was just thinking gardening. Yeah, any way to sweat. It doesn't have to be a 3-mile run. It can be just working outside, picking weeds. As long as you're sweating, you're getting those toxins out. And that's, a lot of people will live a sedentary lifestyle, try to eat fairly healthy. Maybe they do or don't. They have like this medium type attitude, and they think that they're okay, and then they find out when they hit 50, 60, 70 that they have cancer. But cancer is nothing more than ridding your body of the toxins. That's all it is. If you have, mucus in your lungs, if you have an overload of toxins in your liver, if you have issues with, and so you have a lot of people that live in areas where there's more toxins in the environment than others, so they may not smoke and end up with lung cancer. They may drink the water from the tap and end up with some type of odd stomach cancer. That could be gut related to what you're eating. There's a lot of heavy metals in our water, because when they put these chemicals in our water to clean it, or there's a lot of heavy metals in the stuff that we even eat, or the pills that we take over the counter. I mean, you would never think that they would put heavy metals in ibuprofen, but there's heavy metals in margarine. So when they take that tub of margarine and they want to make it from a liquid to a solid using liquid soybean oil, well, there's somebody even mentioned this, like what's in the food we eat and how to bring it up. There's lots of heavy metals in our food. They will tell you that a lot of it's in the fish, like from the mercury from the ocean or whatever. No, there's heavy metals in processed foods, because that's what they use as a binder to spray on your, let's just take cereal. There's a good one. So they're going to spray the cereal down with what they call 11 essential vitamins and minerals, and it's fortified, flour. They do all that. But they have to have those binders to help the vitamins and minerals stick to that liquid spray they're making, and it goes into your food supply. And a lot of people don't know that. I mean, you wouldn't think you'd have heavy metals in ground beef, but you do. You have heavy metals. The worst one is probably margarine. Margarine is horrible. Margarine is absolutely, not only is it a hydrogenated oil, but to get that hydrogen to bond with the liquid oil, they use a lot of mercury. So when people have these really high mercury levels when they have their blood tested, it's not just due to vaccines, or it's not just due to a lot of things that people have heard, fish. No, it's in everything. Okay, so does anybody want to, what else? Okay, so beautification. Let's go back. So when God talks about, beauty, he talks about many different forms of beauty, from his creation to women and things like that. Does anybody on this channel want to open up that man versus bear debate? Because I have some opinions on that. It's really been on my mind lately. Anybody want to open that up, or y'all want to stick to herbal, holistic type of talk? Come on, y'all. You got to give me something. Give me something to work with. And hit that thumbs up. There should be a thumbs up for everybody in this live stream. I don't know if you all have watched the other videos, but I do have 40% off my website. And from that 40%, you get a discount, but I'm also taking my proceeds and giving 10% to a charity. I'm probably going to do this every month. I will not always have a 40% off sale. The 40% off is a lot. And then by the time I give another 10% away, I'm barely making enough to restock. So, but this month, the charity is going to be TK Martin, the School for Kids with Disabilities. Next month, I don't know, I'll pick something else. But I figured this is a good way for people to give back. Did you know that when you give, God increases what he gives you? That is a universal law. It is a fact. And so you decide to place an order. The code is giving back 40 off. And then I put your name in a drawing to win a hair growth stimulator. That's something we should talk about. That's a good talking point. The hair growth stimulator, DHT, how to keep your hair long, strong, and healthy after 40. But your name goes into a hat and it goes on a card. So anybody that makes a purchase that helps to add to that donation, their name will go in a card with their state and say, hey, these are the people who helped to give this donation. The hair growth stimulator. Okay, so let's go there, since nobody's really answering my question on the man versus bear debate. The hair growth stimulator. So we were talking about staying young and healthy after 40. I'll probably go back and change the title of this since we're sticking to this kind of theme. After 40, your hair follicles begin to close up. So with cell regeneration, the slowing down of your metabolism, your hair follicles begin to actually close up because you start to release the hormone DHT. When you do that, your hair cannot grow through and it begins to either fall out. There's a lot of balding. There's a lot of hair thinning. In order to prevent that, cayenne pepper, jalapeno pepper, all those peppers are DHT blockers. So when you take them, it's not just helping your skin, it's not just helping your metabolism, it's helping to block DHT. Saw palmetto is another one you can take. In the hair growth stimulator, there's been a lot of research done. There's proof out there. Rosemary essential oil. I have saw palmetto and cayenne pepper extract in there. Tea tree oil, all of your stimulating oils. So in order to keep your hair follicle from closing and you want to keep it open, you have to get blood and oxygen. The blood carries the nutrients and the oxygen to the cells to keep them functioning. So when the DHT closes it up, you have to counteract that with a DHT blocker. So if you're taking an internal DHT blocker and putting one on the actual area, the scalp, and scrubbing it in, you're going to be activating it two ways. So you'll be blocking your DHT and you'll be helping to grow hair. Let me go get it. If you got a second, it's only 8:30. Can I fill my coffee cup up and grab it? And then I can walk you through what each ingredient does. I'll be right back. Okay. All right. So, saw palmetto is probably one of the biggest. Cayenne pepper is number two. I have a lot of a lot of children in my house right now. Sorry. Um, cartoons going, people on the couch. Let me grab this. So rosemary has been studied, cayenne pepper has been studied, saw palmetto has been studied. There is hands down, there's no question, the results are in. So, but I don't just put that. I put hydrolyzed collagen. There is coconut oil and vitamin E. There is biotin. Biotin is another one that you can take to help your hair grow. I take biotin every day. I've done videos on this. If you're not taking biotin and you are thin, if your hair is thinning and you are not able to, regrow hair at a fast rate, you need to be taking biotin. Not in one of those prenatal vitamins, not in one of those just over the counter hair, they call it hair, skin, and nails. They don't put enough in there. Remember, when they give amounts on the back of the bottle, they only give enough to sustain life. Like, they give you the bare minimum to stay alive. So if you're interested in keeping your hair long and strong, your nails growing long and strong, you need to be taking biotin. And you do not have to buy the hair, skin, and nails and take 5 of them because those are expensive. Just buy biotin itself and take. They give them in like 1,000 mcgs, and they give them in 10,000 mcgs. 10,000 mcgs, 4 of them a day. So you're taking 40,000 micrograms. All right. Let's see what else. I hadn't planned to do this, so I didn't have it ready. Ginger, cedarwood, ylang ylang, tea tree, geranium. Geranium is one with tissue regrowth properties as well. Like I was talking about the comfrey. Geranium is also a really good one for the mouth. They put it in a lot of tooth and gum decay products. Let's see. Cedarwood. Cedarwood is a calming, subtle stimulant, and it helps to stimulate the blood to get to the cells. So when your blood's flowing, if you're adding things like cinnamon, it's got cinnamon, peppermint in here, spearmint, rosemary, frankincense. Frankincense is a concentrated healer of many different levels. When you're adding those to your cells and your blood is pumping, you're stimulating, you're getting oxygen, then your hair follicles will actually open back up. Your body has the ability to correct and heal itself. A lot of people don't know that, but it's true. It's been proven time and time again. If it didn't work, you couldn't cut yourself and the skin regrow back. You get a scab and it heals itself. Your hair follicles will open back up if you are able to block the DHT and add enough nutrients to the cells. But you got to get it stimulated. That's why you have to attack it 2 ways. You have to attack it through the gut by taking something like saw palmetto, cayenne pepper, biotin, and you have to attack it topically. Men can regrow hair. There's so many of these chemicals out on the market that mimic the natural ingredients. I don't even know the names. Sorry. Oh, you're having coffee with me. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna finish this up, and then I'm gonna answer you. Jesus loves you. Okay. So getting the spearmint, getting the cedarwood, stuff like that to the skin cells will cause them to start to thrive, to reproduce at a regular rate again, and get them the oxygen and nutrients that they need, and your hair follicles will open back up. The chemicals that they are putting in the products over the counter nowadays are mimicking the natural DHT blockers and stimulators that I have in a product like this that's all natural with no side effects. So I'll wrap that up. I need to do some videos on specific products and what they have in there and why. Clove. Clove is another good one. Clove is another good one for stimulating cells, for the cell reproduction. Anything that is stimulating is going to help the cell reproduce. So it has this active energy in there. Once it's got the blood flow moving, your cells are getting the oxygen and nutrients that they need. Then they're able to do what they're supposed to do and move at a faster rate. The slowing down of our metabolism takes a toll on our skin. It takes a toll on our hair. It takes a toll on our ability to regulate our thyroid and hormones, blood sugar, blood pressure, and mainly our weight. That is why it's so important to move, because that is an all natural free way that you can keep your metabolism and all the other systems from being overloaded. Your liver from being overloaded with trying to detox is just sweat, just move. It's that simple. That ought to be like the number one way to stay young and healthy. Stay active. And we know this. We know those old farmers. We know those people who move after they retire. They keep going. They stay busy. And the second they stop moving, they die. Yeah, we know it. Okay, so let's talk about natural beauty. In the Bible, God talks about women having a meek and quiet spirit. And God talks about certain women like Esther, who beautified herself for a full year before she was to marry the king. So beauty is not to be. Some Christian circles will put you down for trying to be the woman that God created you to be, or even if you're a man, taking care of yourself. You're vain. Natural beauty comes from within. Women in our society have had to take on more of a masculine role for whatever reason for over the last 100 years. The 4B movement is a movement wherein women have just basically said, we've had to put up with so much crap. We've had to do it by ourselves for so long. And it actually took hold in Korea, and they don't even have enough people or children to start their first grade classes this year. So women decided, okay, we're just not going to date. We're not going to marry. We're not going to have children. We're just going to be single and live our lives like that. Well, it's actually starting to affect their society in numbers. So these women, they haven't married. They went and got degrees. They're professionals. They choose not to date or have children or marry or all that. And now it is decreasing their population. And they did, in certain communities, they did not even have enough children to start kindergarten, first grade classes this year. So it's starting to take a foothold over here. And there's a lot of, I think it's June 24th. There's supposed to be a woman's strike. I think our society sees blatantly what's going on. There's this huge divide right now of liberal and conservative that really shouldn't be. We know that the politics of the day tend to divide male versus female, black versus white, rich versus poor, all of that stuff. So right now, since I sit back and I watch this and I just kind of try to observe and study what's really going on. And I am not even politically on one side or the other. I just watch because to me, it's a tennis match. It's like this and that and this and that. But there is a lot of truth to the fact that Trump took much better care of our country and had, our economics rolling full speed ahead, doing a lot better economically. And so there's this huge push to get Trump back into office, whether it's a conservative standpoint that you hold or an economic standpoint that you hold. But, it's pretty apparent. A lot of people are like, get this guy out of office, Biden. So before the current administration, there was Antifa, there was Black Lives Matter on the liberal side. There was this huge push of these groups that really weren't able to gain ground, okay? There was all those people, they weren't able to gain much traction. They kind of looked foolish. They were fighting for certain things, rights, etc., but they didn't have a foothold on the majority of the population. This time they do. The women's movement that they have are now, and some people will say the cause is abortion. The cause is not abortion. It's just women's rights all lumped into, you know, they are caught. If y'all have not seen how much ground they are making, it's for women that have been sexually assaulted. It's for women who have been victims of domestic violence. It's been women who have been victims of like some type of unfair treatment in the workplace. It's abortion rights. It's women's rights. All women are a greater percentage of the population, and this thing is making some headway. And this thing affects so many people, that this is going to be the way they divide the country. I am 100 about it. 100. You know, you can take dog rights, you can take Antifa, you can take, you know, but women, if you take a certain sect that have absolutely had enough from another certain sect of society. I can't remember the numbers, but it's like 8 out of 10 women have experienced sexual assault, domestic violence, unfair treatment due to their gender. I mean, you're talking about such a huge part of the population that if they decide to group up, the other side is screwed. That's the only way I know how to put it. And if you haven't looked into it, it's one of those things that it has the actual potential of doing what the other groups tried to do. It has the potential of gaining so much ground that it's going to make an impact. Whereas, you know, they gave a lot of publicity to black, and this is small grassroots, almost like your Tea Party stuff. This is not some huge organization promoting it like Black Lives Matter or Antifa. This is not what some people would call an inside job to divide. This is grassroots stuff, women getting together, women protesting, women trying to take a stand. And I don't know. I just think this is going to be an actual huge deal. Because you're talking about, so what it is if you haven't seen on TikTok or on YouTube, so a lot of women are saying, you know, I've had so much from my father or from an uncle or from being raped or, you know, domestic violence. I've had to put up with so much in the workplace or, you know, raising kids on my own because my ex left. I won't say that they're angry, but the way that I feel like men have usurped their God-given authority and misused it and abused it, I believe that God is allowing this to actually take ground and be one of those things that is going to divide. Because it's just, for the last 50 to 100 years, yeah, women have had to do this on their own, whether it's, you know, try to make it with kids or put up with, you know, I don't know. I just think it's going to gain a lot more ground than what people think. And it's, like I said, it's grassroots movements, and it's not in America. This is worldwide. And I have a lot that I want to say on social media about what I have experienced. I have been asked not to, but I can totally see where these people are coming from. Some people see it as a rage, and there are some angry women out there, you know, with picket signs, screaming and hollering. But for a lot of people, for a lot of women, it's about things that have actually happened to them that they never received justice for. It's about just everyday life that is oppressive because a man in their life won't pick up his side of the deal. You know, say like a single mom that's raising children by herself, not getting child support. Good morning. It's been a good little bit since yeah, good morning, Bear. Yeah, the baby's right in here. He's hanging out with Brinley. So I've got the baby and Brinley and a bunch of teenage girls this weekend. They're hanging out, and we're hopefully going to go to the pool later. But everybody's doing really good. All my kids are doing really well. I believe in having them involved in activities. So everybody's got their thing. Brinley's actually into, she's in FFA, and she does large animal science in her high school. And she's wanting to be a vet. And one of the, Mississippi State's like the best college in the nation for veterinary science. And so her and a couple of her friends are going into veterinary science. And I pray that this is where they'll come to school, because if you graduate from Mississippi State vet school, you're going places. But yeah, everybody's doing really good. All my other kids are in sports or several things and doing really good. Jacob is in the Air Force. I don't talk too much about my older kids because they really don't want to be like on YouTube or in the spotlight. And yeah, I probably need to not put them in this. There's been some speaking of domestic violence and speaking of poor relationships between men and women, I've had some. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie Invisible Man, where a particular person was able to divide her from her family. I've had that happen. So there are some people that I do not and will not speak to. And like I said, man, this topic right here, I just want to diarrhea of the mouth and put like a lot of stuff out there, but I really shouldn't. But okay, they're in my room. Look on my bed.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, I was trying to take natural beauty in women and move that over into this 4B movement, this woman movement. Yeah, I really think it's going to be something that divides our country. I really, 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 really do. I believe that at the heart of our society, there are good men out there. Sadly, the majority of women have been affected by some form of oppression, corruption, abuse, child molestation. I mean, I just see this movement as actually having the traction that other movements did not have. And it's not just an American movement, it is a movement across several countries. I just don't see, I just see that, okay, I'm going to just put this out there. I see that politically it would be so easy to divide our country with using this one topic, because this one topic has affected every woman. This one topic, you know, it's not, it's almost like the slavery thing. I really do think this is going to tear our country, and not tear it apart, but I really do think that this hits home for a lot of women. And I think it hits home for more women in conservative groups than we understand. I think it hits home for a lot of women. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that there. I'm doing my very best not to just put my own opinion into it. But yeah, I kind of see it as a concern. I really do. I think that absolute power corrupts absolutely. And when you have a certain sect of society that's been in power and misused it, the people that are oppressed, I mean, we can go all the way back to to Egypt and the Israelites. When you have a certain group of people that have been oppressed or affected or abused or manipulated for centuries, and I'm not saying being a woman automatically comes with that. That is not what I'm saying. I'm saying that when you've been directly affected by a certain sect of people that have misused their power, you're gonna get backlash eventually. It's just how it works out. So, whether it was the forefathers and saying, okay, it's time to throw off the bands of tyrannical government, whether it was the Israelites in Egypt. But when you have one sect of society that governs and uses its authority in a negative way, and there's lots of misuse of power, misuse of trust, misuse of connections. Yeah, I don't know how else to say that, but I think this is going to be a big thing. I really do. I think it's going to be getting all the traction that the other things wanted. So, all right. So y'all talk to me. People are starting to get out of the live, and it's almost 9 o'clock. So we've talked about metabolism. We've talked about your body being overloaded with toxins. We've talked about how to check your pee. To see if you're overloaded, check for that albium, look for those floating particles. We've talked about DHT blockers, and in my next videos I'll start to cover some of the products that I mentioned today. Don't forget, if you place an order, I'm donating this month to the School for Kids with Disabilities, TK Martin, and that's where little Ben was going to school, and I'm currently fighting that process to get him back in school. Yeah. So I totally feel this 4B movement. I totally feel it. Make a big impact on the world, particularly in our country. Well, okay, so you were the one that was willing to comment and open up this can of worms. Okay, Bear. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, that is a perfect example of like, if I really opened up my can of worms, it spans years. It's thousands and thousands of dollars. It's almost unbelievable what people can get away with when they are of the male gender, especially if they have family connections. Yeah, but yeah, I think it's going to be a lot bigger than what people expect. But women don't have the same playing ground. And I am not pro-abortion or liberal, but I feel everything that, I mean, I feel it. Every woman in this nation has been affected by some type of either male oppression or abuse. Every single one. From childhood sexual molestation to, physical abuse to, not equal pay. I mean, you're taking such a huge sect of society, and you're kind of lumping all of it into the one real factor that it does boil down to: your gender. Because of your gender, you don't have equal playing ground. You do not have the connections, or you do not have the same pay, or you do not have, you have less pay, but because of misuse of power by males, you may have to be raising these kids on your own without child support. You have to accept less pay. You probably went through some type of an abusive situation. Now you're raising the kids on your own without, support, or maybe with a lot of hassle. Yeah. I mean, that's just one. That's just like one, take a single mom out of society. That's just one example. I just don't see how it's not going to blow up. And it's worldwide. I mean, it's not even just this country. It is worldwide. And it's like, wow, when I started listening to some of the stories, and, the liberal and abortion thing has kind of attached to it, but that's not, it's a woman's right, so it's going to encompass all of that. But I can so relate. To a lot of it. Yeah, I just don't see how it's not going to be a major deal. Anybody else want? Okay, I retired from law enforcement, and I've seen the writing on the wall, so to speak, even through our court systems. I'm probably going to have to open up and start saying some things on social media about my particular situation because it is that oppressive. I have done my very best to keep my mouth shut. I mean, and I have people that have been trying to help the situation, but it has become exhausting. It has become financially breaking. I don't see how some people can get away with such atrocities. It has become, my son has been used as a tool. My children have been called liars. And yeah, so I'm just going to say that I feel this. I feel this movement on a level that affects me every day. Every day. And so, like I said, I try to refrain from saying anything on social media because, truth be told, my social media is watched like a hog. But yeah, yeah. There are some people out there that care. There are some good people out there. There are some ways that you can find resources in certain situations, whether it's due to rape, sexual abuse, or domestic violence. There's those places out there that women can reach, but yeah, family support is often lacking. Financial support is often lacking, and yeah, when you absolute power corrupts absolutely. And when you have the ability to make someone look as if, you know, what they're saying is false or whatever, or twist facts or pull strings or, whatever it is, and you make it such a struggle, even if it's just fighting for equal pay, you make it such a struggle for a certain sect of people that they have no choice but to rise up, because I see tons of single women without fathers helping, without them paying or seeing their kids, and they take less pay. And, it's like after so long, I mean, look at our economy. So, I mean, after so long, you just kind of look at it and you go, there's no way that this isn't going to be affecting a large group of the population because it's factual. This is actually happening. It's not some perceived offense like with Antifa or Black Lives Matter. Those are perceived oppressions or perceived offenses to, I hate to say it, groups of people that had particular instances that they were able to blow up into larger instances. But these are factual, statistical complaints that women actually have against society, and that it affects so many people. Come here, babe. Did you say hi?
Hey.
Children being weaponized to hurt one parent or to control one parent. Yeah. Yeah. I'm doing my best to keep my mouth shut. But I feel that movement with all of my heart. He is getting so big. He is getting so big. Can you say hi?
Hey.
I mean, that's a big one for me. So that's one reason why I'm taking some of the proceeds from what you purchased to donate to his school. Well, where he was going to school, he's been pulled out of school, and I'm in a fight for my life to get this child put back in that school. And I mean, yeah, so I feel this on a different level that a lot of people may not, but I feel it. Yeah, growing like a weed in good sunshine. Good morning, honey. I love you. I love you. Oh, I did not know you were